All right, let's just jump right in. For years, years, the big idea in content marketing was just more is better. Churn it out, right? Well, that playbook, it's broken. Today, we're going to talk about a whole new strategy for 2025, one that's all about trading that sheer volume for something way more powerful, real depth. And I'm sure you felt this, right? You pour hours, maybe even days into a piece of content. You're proud of it. And then, poof, it just vanishes into this, digital black hole. So, in a world that is just overflowing with generic stuff, how do you actually truly make an impact?
Yeah, this slide here really nails the change we're talking about. On one side, you've got that old playbook, basically a giant pile of random content, just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. But on the other side, that's the new game. It's a systematic engine built on deep, data-driven research that creates real, unshakable authority.
And that's exactly what we're focusing on, building that systematic research engine. Look, this isn't just about writing blog posts anymore. It's about creating a predictable, high-performance machine that truly positions you as a leader in your space.
And the speed of this change? It is just staggering. By 2025, a whopping 90% of marketers are expected to be using AI. But here's the thing. The real story isn't about replacement, not at all. It's about augmentation. AI's job is to make our human experts faster and smarter, to basically supercharge that engine we're building.
So, okay, where do we even begin with this engine? Well, it all starts with figuring out what your customers are actually searching for. The absolute foundation of any great piece of content is asking the right questions before you even think about writing a single word.
And to do that, you've really got to master two different kinds of research. First, there's the quantitative stuff. This is the what. You're using tools like Semrush to see what people are searching for and how many of them are doing it. But then, and this is crucial, you have the qualitative research. This is the why. Using tools like Answer the Public to uncover the real context, the questions, the reasons behind the search.
So here it is, the winning play in action. It's so simple, but so powerful. You combine both. You start with a quantitative tool to find a topic that's actually got some commercial legs, real search demand. Then, you bring in a qualitative tool to map out the entire universe of questions and ideas around it. When you do this, you're not just optimizing for a keyword anymore, you're creating something that's genuinely, comprehensively useful for a real person.
Okay, so you've got your topic. Now it's time for the next big step, building unbreakable authority. And listen, this isn't about just sharing your opinions. It's about earning trust. And you earn trust by backing up everything you say with solid, credible data. So, where do you get it?
Well, your data is going to come from two key places. First up, your internal data. This is gold. It's what your own audience is doing on your site, which you can see in tools like Google Analytics. Then you've got external data. This is stuff like industry reports or even your own proprietary surveys. This gives you that big picture perspective that really makes you stand out.
And this is how you turn all that data into a kind of perpetual motion machine for amazing content. It's this simple four-step loop. First, you observe the what. What are people clicking on in Google Analytics? Second, you understand the why by literally watching session recordings in a tool like Microsoft Clarity. Third, you validate what you think is happening with some quick surveys. And fourth, you improve the content and start the cycle all over again. It completely transforms content from a one-and-done task into this amazing cycle of constant improvement.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, AI. Everybody's asking, is AI going to replace us? But that's just the wrong question. The real strategic question we should be asking is, how can AI amplify our best people? We have to shift our entire mindset from replacement to augmentation.
And this quote just nails it. AI is a profoundly powerful assistant, but it's not a replacement for genuine expertise. Think about it. AI is incredible at summarizing things, at putting pieces together, but it can't create a brand new insight from years of human experience. So the real opportunity here is to use it as an assistant. Let it do the heavy lifting, the grunt work, so your experts can focus on what they do best, creating original, valuable analysis.
This right here shows you the huge strategic choice you've got to make. You can pair AI with junior writers just to pump out more and more content, faster. But honestly, that's a race to the bottom. It just creates more noise. The powerful strategy, the winning strategy, is to pair AI with your subject matter experts. The goal shifts from just producing stuff to creating truly groundbreaking, value-based analysis. And man, the toolkit for this is growing like crazy every single day. You've got tools like Jasper and Copy.ai that are just fantastic for getting that first draft down. That ugly first draft that helps you beat writer's block. Then there's something like Claude, which is an amazing creative partner. It can help you brainstorm. It can even interpret charts for you. And hey, if you're just looking to experiment and not break the bank, tools like WriteSonic or Writer are awesome, budget-friendly ways to dip your toes in.
So, you've done all the hard work. You did the research, you wrote this incredible piece of content. Now what? How do you make sure people can actually find it? Well, that means you have to win the modern SEO game. And trust me, the rules have completely changed.
Remember the old days of keyword density? Just stuffing your main keyword in there over and over and over again? Yeah, that's completely dead. The new benchmark is something called topical completeness. And honestly, that's just a fancy way of saying be genuinely helpful. Search engines today are all about rewarding pages that show real expertise by covering a topic from top to bottom. And the best part is you don't have to guess what complete actually looks like. Thank goodness. There are tools like Surfer SEO, Phrase, and ClearScope that do all the heavy lifting for you. They literally go out, analyze what's already ranking on page 1, and give you a data-backed blueprint of what you need to cover. It basically de-risks the whole process. Okay, so we have all these awesome tools, right? For research, for writing, for SEO, but that brings us to the final and maybe biggest challenge. How do you integrate all of it? How do you manage this entire process without it just turning into complete chaos?
Because let's be real, when you try to scale this stuff, especially if you're working across multiple brands or websites, all these hidden problems pop up. Suddenly, management is a nightmare, your brand message gets all watered down, your own SEO efforts start fighting each other, and the whole thing just becomes a massive resource drain.
And this is not a small thing we're talking about. Get this. A full 68% of businesses say that brand consistency is a major driver of their revenue growth. So, figuring this out isn't just a nice-to-have for staying organized. It's a straight-up bottom-line issue.
So here's a quick look at what that modern content stack can look like. You've got your tools for topic research, for audience analytics, for SEO, and of course for project management. But here's the key takeaway. Just having a pile of great tools doesn't mean you have an integrated system. Not even close.
And that's the end game, right? It's about forging all those individual components into a single, cohesive, high-performance engine. That means you need some kind of central command center. Maybe it's a dedicated person, a content ops role. Maybe it's a super organized project management system. Whatever it is, you need something that ensures every single piece is working together, pushing toward the same goal.
So, I want to leave you with this one big question to chew on. When you really look at your own content process, what do you see? Is it just a collection of disconnected parts and tools, or have you truly built a high-performance engine? Because your answer to that question is really what's going to define your success in 2025 and beyond.